It is fall here in Middle Tennessee, and Halloween is just a few days away. If you want to hear a scary story about how a septic system got a buyer in some hot water recently, stick around because knowing this might help you avoid the same fate. Hi, I am Andy with Weichert Realtors, the Andrews Group. Welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you've been here, thank you for visiting. Please like and subscribe down below, and you'll get notified when I post more videos. Today, I'm going to go over a few tips, primarily for those of you buying a home with a septic system, but this will also be helpful for those of you that are selling a property that either has or needs a septic system. Since the world turned upside down due to a pandemic, there's been this surge from folks across the country looking to move from more densely populated metropolis areas to more rural areas. And sometimes moving to a piece of property that has more land may mean moving to a piece of property that utilizes a septic system. Here in Nashville, the same is true, but add to that, we're seeing a significant increase of people from other parts of the country moving to Middle Tennessee. You can check out my video about moving from California to the Nashville area. There are pros and cons to owning a septic system, but we're not going to dig real deep into those. That was a pun. Just know that if you've never lived on a property that has a septic system, there's nothing innately bad that you need to be scared of. There are, however, a couple details that I think will help you if you're thinking of buying or selling a piece of property that has a septic system. And yes, I have a very recent story where some buyers were thrown for a bit of a loop over a septic system. First, let's go over the basics of a septic system. Anytime you run the water, take a shower, flush a toilet, do any laundry, all of that water, instead of going to some municipality, instead of going to a city sewer system, goes to your own septic system, which involves, this is a very simplistic model, but a tank or two where everything that goes out of your house through the drains basically separates. Solids go to the bottom, there's a scum layer on top, and the water in the middle gets sent out to what's called a leach field. It can also be called a tile field or a leach basin. From there, that water seeps into the ground. So you may have heard of a perk test, or in real estate, you may have heard how many bedrooms does that house perk for. That's just short for percolation, and it means how quickly does that water percolate down through the soil. That happens in the leach field, and this is LEACH, meaning how quickly water drains through soil, not LEECH, you know, the blood-sucking worm. There's another Halloween image for you. So, note number one about how many bedrooms a house perks for. The intent of a perk test on soil indicates how quickly that moisture is going to be absorbed into the soil. In other words, how quickly that water is going to get absorbed into the local ecosystem. What you don't want to do is overload or oversaturate the soil of your property. That makes a horrible mess that you don't want to deal with on the surface of the ground. You want all that moisture to stay under the surface. So a perk test is done, different locations on a property, to determine the best place for that water to be distributed into the ground. What is typically calculated is assuming 2 people max per bedroom. The county will determine the approval of a 3-bedroom house, a 2-bedroom house, a 4-bedroom house, based on the assumption that it's going to be about 2 people in every bedroom, okay? So in other words, if you get approval or if you buy a house that is perked for a 3-bedroom home, that's the assumption that max, there are going to be 6 people living in that house, and that septic system has been designed to accommodate 6 people living there. That's why it's based on bedrooms, not bathrooms, because you could have 20 bathrooms in a house, but if you only have 2 bedrooms for people to sleep in, you're not going to have 20 people sleeping in the house. Not to mention, you can only use one toilet at one time, I think. So here's a little tip when you're looking for a home. Let's say you're searching for a home with 4 bedrooms, and your real estate agent has a search set up for you that eliminates every house with 3 bedrooms or less. Sounds smart, right? However, there are a lot of houses out there that essentially have an additional bedroom, but they cannot list it as an additional bedroom because the septic system is not rated to handle another bedroom. So if you have children, for example, that don't sleep in the same bedroom, and you're not going to overload the system by having more than 2 people in each bedroom, you can look at 3-bedroom homes that might be on a septic system and might only be listed as 3-bedroom homes because they're obligated to only list them as 3-bedroom homes because they're on a 3-bedroom septic system, but there may very well be a 4th bedroom in that house. It takes a little more work on your agent's part to sort through all that, but you may find a diamond in the rough that a house that's listed with only 3 bedrooms has a 4th bedroom in it, but they're obligated to list it as a 3-bedroom house based on the restrictions of the septic system. Here's another tip on limitations of a septic system. If you are building a new house on a parcel of land that is rated for, say, it's approved for a 3-bedroom house, and you want to build, say, a 4-bedroom house, there are ways to do that. Again, keeping in mind that you're not going to overload that system. If it's approved for a 3-bedroom house, they're anticipating 2 people per bedroom max. So as long as you don't have more than 6 people living in this house and you want 4 bedrooms, build one of those bedrooms without a closet.
Better use Mom's closet.
What's wrong with your closet?
What makes a bedroom a bedroom? Well, in real estate terms, what makes a bedroom is having a closet and egress, or a window or a door to be able to get out in case of an emergency. So if you build a house that has 3 bedrooms and then an additional room that you intend to use as a bedroom, this is no secret. This is not against the law. This is not against building codes. Build that room without a closet. Make sure it has egress. You definitely don't want to put a family member in, a dangerous situation. If it doesn't have a closet, use an armoire or some large piece of furniture to store clothes, and you can utilize that 4th room as a bedroom, but only build a 3-bedroom house. Now, the other important thing to note when you're buying a property with a septic system, you want to know, if at all possible, you want to know where the septic system is. You want to know where the tank or tanks are, and you want to know exactly where the leach field is. This is extremely important for several reasons. If you want to add anything to the home, if you want to add a garage in the future, thinking, well, we can put an addition out there later as the family grows, or if you're thinking you want to add a pool in the future, you need to know where the septic system is before you purchase a home like that, because it may stop those plans dead in their tracks. Dead in their tracks. It's Halloween. Which brings us to story time with Andy. Once upon a time, not so long ago, in a city that rhymes with Franklin, Tennessee, a beautiful home came on the market for sale. It is a lovely home with a beautiful backyard, and its listing price was 7 digits long. Well, very quickly, an aggressive buyer made a very strong offer on this home with no contingencies. No appraisal contingency, no financing contingency, and no inspection contingency. And with their offer, they guaranteed a very large down payment in the form of earnest money. They were determined to have this house no matter what. Well, the buyers and sellers, they went under contract and everyone was elated. The buyers finally found their dream home where they could start their new life in the town that rhymes with Franklin, Tennessee. And in just a short time, they could hire a pool contractor to start on their brand new in-ground swimming pool that they have planned since they started looking for a home. But meanwhile, right there in the listing documents that the listing agent wisely included online for all real estate professionals to see was the entire diagram and written details of the home's septic system. Well, the septic system's leach field and curtain drain take up the entire backyard of this lovely home. It makes the grass incredibly green, but there is no room for an in-ground pool. But the offer that the buyers had written was with no contingencies. They were buying this home no matter what. And this, boys and girls, is how your real estate professional, who is helping you buy a home, if they're not careful, could put you right in the clutches of a lawsuit. The end. So what can we learn from this? 1, make sure before you purchase a home that has a septic system, if you have any intention of making any modifications to the land, whether it's an addition, a pool, a patio, a fire pit, an irrigation system, find out the details of the septic system. Sometimes if the home is old enough or the county is disorganized enough, they might not have those documents available, but most modern homes will. And 2, when you're buying a house, if you're planning on making a change to a home, please make sure your real estate agent finds out the answer as to what you are and aren't going to be able to do as far as making any modifications to that home in the future. I'm Andy with Weichert Realtors, the Andrews Group. Like and subscribe down below, and you'll be notified when I upload more videos. I hope you enjoyed this and maybe you learned something. Hopefully it wasn't too scary for you. Bye-bye.